Start off by telling us about what Roar is.
Sure. So Roar is a social impact company. We are aimed at diminishing violence against women using technology and educational programs. We are building, as a short-term solution, self-defense wearables. So picture jewelry that you would wear that when you activate it would trigger a high-frequency alarm, a bright flashing strobe light, or you can launch a silent version as well that will message your friends and family with your location and call campus security, 911, whatever you designate as an emergency line. And the idea there is when you're threatened and when you want help, you can distract, disorient someone and instantly get help. And then it integrates with a mobile app that kind of acts like Waze, but for safety. So it uses crowdsourced safety tips to let you know if you're about to enter a dangerous area. So for example, let's say a mugging just happened. Everybody close by would get a text. Or let's say when it was icy last Sunday, let's say a neighbor maybe left a safety tip that it's icy on the sidewalk. Everybody close by would get that before they leave the house. So the idea is just to be more vigilant of your surroundings, know what's going on. And the final piece of it is we are using part of the proceeds from the wearable and partnering up with nonprofits that host educational programs for young boys and young girls to teach them empathy and respect and consent. So to really get to the root of the problem, and so that one day, these devices are hopefully obsolete.
Terrific. What gave you the idea for this?
A lot of things. I'm from the Middle East, and over there, women are oppressed. They don't have kind of the same opportunities that I have here, and I feel like I cheated the birth lottery a little bit. So I always think about how my mom had an arranged marriage, and she would have to ask for permission to do stuff, and her sole purpose was just to have a family and preferably boys, and of course cover up. And what my life would have been like if I would not have come here during the Persian Gulf War. And I just feel very lucky that I am here, and I want to do something to shift kind of the gender inequality that exists. And then the real trigger happened when, I guess it was late 2013. I had just come back from a big trip. I did a 6-month trip through South America, and a week after I came back, a woman was raped a block from my apartment, a street that I walk by all the time. She had just moved from Chicago. It was her 4th day here. She was out at a bar meeting some people, and she went out to refill her meter 10 o'clock at night, so it wasn't that late, when a guy grabbed her from behind, punched her, dragged her into an alley, and brutally raped her. And when I read this news story the next day, I had the initial idea, which was taking existing self-defense tools and making them wearable. So the initial idea was actually called the mace lid, like mace in a bracelet. But then I did some market research, talked to a lot of women, and learned they actually don't like existing self-defense tools because they're either intimidated by them or they're really afraid that they would be overpowered and it would be used against them. So then the idea shifted to what it is now.
Okay. So that's an interesting insight into some of the early days of the product concept. What are some of the things that you came across as you were building the product? What are some of the challenges?
I've never built a hardware company before. This is new territory. It's actually my 4th company, but still.
Your 4th startup?
4th startup.
Wow.
But still kind of brand new in the hardware space. So learning about that was really interesting, but a lot of fun. So one of the earliest challenges that we had was how to design the prototype, how to make it so that it's functional, it's beautiful, it's something people would want to wear, and it's not accidentally triggered. Because you can just imagine that someone accidentally brushes against the device and 911 is called, and of course 911 will get upset that they're getting all these false calls. So how do you do it so that it looks nice, works well, is easy to use, but also not so easy that it's triggered accidentally? That was our biggest design challenge of building the company. And yeah, hiring the right people helped a lot. And then one of the biggest things we use is the lean startup methodology. So we test everything that we do. So we've had focus groups, we've done surveys, we've done a mock self-defense class where we had people try things on to see how they react to like common moves, and we've used that to help inform the process all along the way.